Hi folks, I'm Jared Bentley. You're watching the Pop Chronicle right here on JohnsonCityPress.com.
Oh, this is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
It's easy to think of movies you love. Everybody has a handful of movies that follow them for years or through their whole life that make them feel something positive and wonderful and eventful. And then there are your least favorite movies. Sometimes harder to think of, but they definitely come to mind. I asked the staff in the newsroom to tell me what their least favorite movies were, and these are a few.
Hello, I'm Joe Avento, Sports Director of the Johnson City Press and Kingsport Times News, and the worst movie of all time is Caddyshack 2. That is so bad that there really isn't another worst movie of all time. All other bad movies are the second worst movie of all time. Caddyshack 2 was so bad, I actually got up and left the theater in the middle of it. I've never done that before in any other movie. They actually tried to replace Rodney Dangerfield with Jackie Mason. That's all you have to know. The only character from the first Caddyshack who was in the second one was Chevy Chase. And even he said when it was over, it was the worst thing that he'd ever seen. Bill Murray was not in Caddyshack 2. In fact, he sued the makers of Caddyshack 2 in post-production because he laid claim to the character of the gopher. I don't really know what else to tell you about that movie except don't go see it for yourself and you'll believe me.
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
Hi, I'm Robert Houck. I'm senior reporter here at the Johnson City Press. My least favorite movie is On the Waterfront. I find Brando overacting too much, and that is a movie where he really does a good job of overacting. And I'm not too much of a fan of Kazan either. He's a bit too much for me. Brando's overacting in that movie has launched many careers of people doing bad impressions of Marlon Brando. It's just a terrible, terrible role, and he brought nothing to it. That's all I can say.
I loved Highlander. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. To my wife's chagrin, I watch it every time it comes on TV, or I'll even break out the DVD and watch it just on the off chance that I get some time and want to do so. I was completely underwhelmed with Highlander 2 because they took all the mythology and turned it into some alien story, and it just ripped everything away from the movie that I loved. Boring, overwrought, and not good. This is just a bad idea and a bad movie.
My name is Hannah Swayze, and if I had to pick a least favorite movie, it would probably be Star Wars, because I love sci-fi, but I just can't get into them. Every single time I've sat down to watch one, I just fall asleep every time. Every time. Please don't send me hate mail. Please don't send me hate mail.
I'm Kenneth Medley, staff writer for the Johnson City Press, and my least favorite movie is Sky Captain and the World Tomorrow. In my opinion, everything about the movie was awful. The writing was weak, not accurate, had the slowest progression, and a serious lack of character development. The production quality has the worst CGI I have ever laid eyes upon. During one scene, the main character, played by Angelina Jolie, places her hand on top of a 1930s era automobile. The car, of course, is CGI because the producers couldn't spring for a real car. But the most atrocious part was that Jolie's hand seemed to be in between the sheet metal. The animators couldn't even put her hand on top. The writing's weak, lazy, the animation is sloppy, the editing makes Sky Captain and the World Tomorrow my least favorite movie of all time. It is the first movie I ever slept through in a public theater. It was ultimately a waste of money and time. The lighting couldn't even have continuity. I have even tried to give the movie a second and third watch. Still atrocious. It never should have been made. It was a bad movie.
So there you have it, folks. Those are the least favorite movies of some of the staff here at the Johnson City Press. Thanks for watching Pop Chronicle. I'm Jared Bentley.